Hello out there in TV land. Welcome to another episode of AGI Anthony and Greg on Intelligence. I am Anthony Moggio, and with me is Greg Chewy Prost. Star Wars is coming out next week. We got Mandalorian. Oh, I wish he was. It's Grogu and no, I know. It's he should Baby Chewie or something.
I'm not as much into the Muppet part of it. It seems a little weird.
A little weird. Okay, all right.
All I want is the acting job where you just wear a helmet and walk around, man, and just hear you talking. It's awesome. Don't even have to do any of your stunts or anything.
Oh, I'm sure that's more challenging.
Yeah.
So on this, we always try to tie together for the viewers watching us. We always try to chime in both what we're doing, news and updates, and then also give some practical demonstrations. So we're going to do kind of a little bit of a mix of some updates and this, but we're going to do some live on the fly. None of this was pre-rehearsed. Rehearsed? No, pre-rehearsed would be
Pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded. Yeah, we'll do that one. Okay.
Rehearsed? No, but you know.
You know, I did not pretend that I am an English major at all during any of this.
Everybody's figured that out. Don't worry.
Thanks, Chewy. All right. Oh, look, conveniently, our YouTube channel is on display. That is convenient to find that. So we picked a guinea pig, drew it out of a hat. So what we have is we have Orion Township's budget. So we're going to do...
This wasn't out of a hat. Let's make sure everybody understands this. They put an RFP out for exactly what we're about to do.
Well, the hat was the RFP hat.
Yeah, there you go. So they put an RFP out a few weeks ago. It was due a few days ago.
Well,
here's our budget. We want to make it GFOA.
Well, we got two things. So we got the one part they're doing GFOA, and another part we're going to make them a cool website widget for their budget. So all we did is went to the township. I grabbed their adopted budget here, and that was the only thing that was pre-done was getting that downloaded and put into the chat. So this is all on the live side here. So we're going to do a quick just show of how this works here. So first one, we are looking to create a GFOA Distinguished Budget. And this is the same thing we did at Rochester, right? It was the same process to figure out what are we missing, what do we need to add, and then went through and added it, right? Very simple. Distinguished budget. We have this one as our current budget.
It's just an Excel spreadsheet.
Yep. What items, according to GFOA, do we need to calculate or bring in or create for this budget to get us in line to be able to apply and have a great chance of succeeding for the GFOA Distinguished Budget Award. Provide a list and analysis of gaps, what we need, what is missing, and any other information. We are located in Orion Township, Michigan. All right, so off and running. There goes the first one.
All
right. So that one's off and doing its thing. I'll keep an eye on this one. Oh, yeah, there you go. Just tell me when you're done. How's that? Oh, sure. Yeah, you just pop up. Let me know when you're done. All right, so it's now, as you can see, it's working and running and doing its thing. So I'll keep monitoring this and checking back. Next thing we're going to do, it's the same document put in here.
Started a new chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, started a new chat over here, on the left here.
As many as you want.
You can keep it running. It doesn't matter. I'll do all of them. We have the adopted budget attached. We are in Orion Township, Michigan. We follow the Michigan chart of accounts. I'm just going to put COA. That's chart of accounts. It should figure out and know what that means. We want an interactive website tool, primarily for who do we want to make it? We want it for the board, residents? Residents? Let's go residents.
Sure.
For our residents to use and interact with, we want it to be polished, clean, easy to use, and a lot of interactiveness with it. Okay, so very simple things that go along with that one. So I'm going to then just...
And we're using Opus 4.7. That's the most recent Claude tool out there.
So it's doing. I'm just going to check, see if we didn't have any notifications or anything. Like, oh, we already have the. Okay, well, we'll come back to that one. We'll come back to the assessment piece, and I want to make sure that we don't get any other pop-ups on this one. Now, this normally, when I help other communities do it, it's usually about 8 minutes to go. So I'm going to pop off this. I'm going to keep monitoring this, and
let's go back to the first one. Since
you want to finish that one?
Yeah, might as well.
Since it was done apparently very quickly. All right, so let's see what we got. This is GFOA, which is the Government Finance Officers Association. So for those that aren't in government, it's a national group that kind of says, here's the best practices of things you should do and include in a budget. The quick assessment...
It's only 5% of what GFOA reviewers are looking for. Wow.
Roughly 5%. You're right, because if you look at it, it's just basically the export, right? It's just raw data. It's activity. Yep. Exactly what it says. It's an activity report. Here's numbers, GL numbers, and that's it. So when you look at a GFOA quality budget, it's a document, financial plan, operations guide, communication tool rolled into one. Most of the work is narrative, context, and structured that lives around the numbers. And that's important because the goal in that is numbers are just the numbers, but what is the message around the numbers and exactly what it's hinting to? It's like it gives you a feel when you look at the budget to really understand that community and what it's trying to do. So here, below, we have everything you need to build grouped by the new 26 categories. Whoop, did not mean to scroll that quick. With the legacy criteria mapped in, since reviewers still use it as an evaluation backbone. So here's our scoring framework. Applicants earn points across 9 content categories and 5 material type categories, with 100 plus points required for the award. So you need to get at least 100. Categories, so we have content. So here we go. First part, community priorities and organization challenges and opportunities. 20 points. Strategic goals, and it's what it covers. It covers strategic goals, priorities, transmittal message. Value, 20 points. What residents get for their tax dollar. Long-term outlook, 20 points. Multi-year financial projections, debt, and pensions. Revenue budget, 20 points. Revenue by source, type, and assumption.
So how much of this are they going to be able to get out of that current data?
Well, they said 5%, right? So they got 5 points, right?
Okay.
I guess if I'm like, because there's things like this one here, personnel budget, FTE counts, compensation, staffing changes. You can see how much you're spending on, let's say, fire department staffing, but it doesn't tell you how many, right? It's just a number that you're spending. And I didn't look at this, so I'm not saying this is theirs, but it's $1 million. Well, I know I'm spending $1 million on staffing. I don't know if that's admin. I don't know if that's firefighters. Yeah. I don't know if that's the mechanic. I don't know,
So when you did your budget, you answered all these questions?
Our budget historically is we don't do activity. So we had a lot of this is already looking, at this list. We already do all this in our budget. Okay. So when I did it, there was a lot less things that it was asking for. So like, hey, your community profile, hey, you need to, so those things got incorporated and added in, okay. Things like, one of the items, looking at, what are you changing? They want you to get the story of the budget, right? Yeah. Like one of the items is like, what's being asked for that didn't get approved, right? Like what don't you have enough money for, right? What are you considering and not doing? They want the story of the numbers to make it in a different way. So we have department budget. So we need to know, what are the department narratives, goals, and measures? Program budget, program level service delivery information. So if you're doing, maybe business development, or you're doing, whatever the programming is that you have at that level. different for every community, right? Orion Township and this, city of Rochester, two very different communities, right? City, township, they function different, they operate different, so programming's going to look different. Capital budgeting, do you have a multi-year CIP, project list, operating impacts of those? The budget process, did you put in your calendar? What are the procedures for the budget? What are the policies in the budget? So now we get to the section on material type. So the budget document, how is the PDF and book itself? And that's the biggest thing it changed for Rochester, for instance, is it changed the document to make it clean and engaging. Our council very able to engage, as we talked about, in the other parts on understanding the nuances in the budget. Budget in brief and newsletter. Is there a citizen-facing short version of the budget in brief? And would I be curious? Do you need to have that as being separate
from the dashboard?
From the dashboard,
Yeah.
and as I'm saying that, as I'm scrolling, I'm seeing that it is a different 10 right here. Interactive online presentation, right? Because every time you don't do things just to do things. I know. Citizens a lot of times in government think that, we don't know what we're doing. We're just doing whatever we want. There's established, nonpartisan, these aren't partisan groups. This is just a best practice.
Yep.
So that if you follow these things, like, okay, why do you want to get a budget award? Well, because if you get it, it's like getting a bond rating, right? A AAA bond rating. You have a third party that has evaluated what you're doing and says you meet this independent threshold on quality and service, and do you have your stuff together, right? And this goes out to different people to review, right? GFOA isn't doing the review. It's municipalities across the country that are reviewing, and everybody reviews it, and then they kind of form the points and do whatever. You need 100 to win. It's like fun prize here. So anyways, do you have a budget and brief?
It is a little weird. You only need 100 out of 210. So not too many people are doing all these things.
And we'll see if it says it. I have some comments about that, but it'll probably get to the reason why after this. So we'll keep going. So videos, multimedia explainers, right? So when I did my budget presentation, I had the AI make a video. There's a reason I had it make a video, right? The goal was to get our city, or now Orion Township looking at starting this, you don't have to frog boil water sort of thing, where it's like how do you boil a frog? You put it in the pot and then turn it on, and slowly over time. Yeah. Like in Rochester, to my own detriment, is rip the Band-Aid off, and we're going full bore right now. We're going to hit everything we can to the best of our ability, and take any of the flack about stuff like website tools and stuff. We'll deal with that after, because it's like, why not? Like, do what you can and make it as good.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, AI helps. It's great. So, and then we do social media, infographics, etc. So there's 210 points. You need 100 to win. First time applicant, target 140 to 150 to give yourself some margin. Gap analysis. Okay, Orion, tune in here. This is what you have versus what you need. So we're going to need to add a cover page with the name adopted or proposed.
We're probably going to get some of these things on the other proposal, right? And the other
other tab?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have the interactive tool. Yeah. Right? Well, because some of this we won't have. I didn't have it like make.
Oh, I was thinking you had to make the whole budget.
Make the actual entire full budget.
Because it would have put the table of contents in or anything.
Why not? Hey, we'll do that in a second. We'll see how the time goes. I'll add that after.
We'll see if that first one's done, and then you can ask it.
Well, here, you want to just. You know what? We do.
Top there,
we do things on the fly here. This is just because Greg asked, this is how we're going to do that. I'm going to make a new. Hold on. I want it as a new tab. Give me my old one back. Thank you.
Go on to budget. See the interactive budget tool. See if it came up.
Wow, look at all this. Yeah, we're going to definitely skim through most of this going up next here. All right, so interactive budget tool. Okay, good. We'll jump to that. But hold on. Let me get this started, because this is going to take a minute. And so here we go. Dropping the budget. You know what I think? Actually, you know what I think we can do? Let's just do this different. Let's just do it here. Okay, draft a budget that meets the GFOA criteria. Give us a sample. Anything that is missing, find. If you can't easily find it, add it. And for any estimations or things you add, put in asterisk next to it so we know that was a AI created narrative explanation number.
I like
we
that.
want to get a feel for what a polished GFOA Orion Township budget looks like.
Everybody, watch how he did this, right? Saying, hey, highlight something, put an asterisk by it, tell it exactly what you want to see.
So
Prompting it that way is helpful.
So we got the points. So it says the analysis, what's missing, table of contents, GFOA award page, list of elected officials.
And
This one, it
stuff
always gets sometimes wrong.
But it should be able to at least find some of the stuff.
Oh, yeah, you'll get like some people will be right. And then for some reason, like the department director, it lists as the one that retired a year ago or something, and it's like, okay,
but at least it'll give us all those pages easily.
So now it's giving us kind of a roadmap, and this is seeing how long this is. I'm just going to kind of scroll through some of this a little quicker, but as you can see, it lays out strategic goals and strategies, 10 to 20 points in the community priority. Organization.
Is it running? Did you run it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is running.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep, we're good. So you can see department selections, what's missing, mission statement, org chart, FTE count, service, budget goals, 3-year summary, blah, 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 all this stuff. Okay, so you kind of get an idea that look at how thorough this is going to be the point, right?
Yep.
So we have a very strong, it grabbed everything from GFOA. It's public. They have it. These are public things. There's nothing hidden here like Gatsby.
Well, I want to see how...
Can't find any of those.
Yeah, I want to see it finding things on their website and going in and grabbing stuff. That'll be...
I don't know if we're at that part yet, but... Oh, no. Come back.
So by clicking here, you can see what it's doing. You can see behind the scenes.
So it's building and working on. So this first part that it already finished, which is it got all the research done. It knows who the township supervisor is. Oh, it got that right. Yeah, look at that. It grabbed population, millage, Orion assembly plant, etc. And so now, as you can see, this is it running, right? So this is the speed of the AI. It is currently it already, in us reviewing just those few parts, it already found all the information it needed, and then it'll assume and create the rest, and is now building the final document. When this is done, it'll pop up on the screen.
Now let's pull up that interactive budget tool.
Let's let that run. Let's get rid of this. Yeah. I need to free up some space here. I don't want to blow the memory usage up. So here we have the widget tool for the website that it made. And so now you can see, how the reason you look at it on the right half here is because if you want to change things, you do it here on the left side, right? So it says, oh my gosh.
This is the change that when we talked, a few months ago when Claude first came out with 4.6, it started putting this on the right-hand side. So you can see what you're doing as you're doing it. It's just incredibly cool.
And then when you want to change it, you just go on the left here and tell it, and then it'll start updating and changing it here. So
it gets back to, instead of making a graph in Excel, you just say, make me a graph, and it's going to make it right into this program here.
So here we have the aesthetic. It's an editorial civic with subtle topographic lake motif. Orion's lake heritage is genuinely distinctive. 18+ 8 lake-related funds in the budget. So I'm leaning into it rather than fighting it.
And I got to tell you, it always looks nice, but it has a theme to it. If you want it not to look like it's put together by Claude, you want to tell it, hey, change the theme, don't make it. In fact, when Mike Pettigrew when I was at Basic and I showed up for my talk, he was up speaking, and when they asked for questions, I grabbed the mic and said, which version of Claude did you use to make your presentation? And he said, oh, it was 4.7. I just made it together. Good catch, Greg. It's like, it looks really nice. It looks way too nice. You didn't put that together. So anyway, just something to know.
I just wanted to see just off their website, do they have like it's probably green and blue, it looks like. They have a lot of green, blue on the website, backsplash, blue, green. Okay, so let's do it. Let's see if this works here. let's make the color schema blue, watery, and green, parklands, nature.
Wow, look at you.
We're going with that one here.
So let's see what they got.
We're going through it. So I'm already finding that when you click, like this is the interactive it already made, right? So general fund, I can click on that. It'll scroll and put general fund here. So here's the information. And none of this was in it, right? It was an Excel, basically Excel or data export. So it was just numbers, right? So it put in that, hey, the township's general purpose operating fund, clerk, treasurer, supervisor, attorney, planning, elections, IT, HR, and more, expenditures, ending balance, history. So this was information that was in the document. I'm not seeing asterisks yet on this one. So we have general fund, general purpose. Scrolling fast. What the ordinance, the clerk, what they do. They have their own funds. So we can see a breakdown on government. Oh, no. The asterisk was not for the website tool. I'm sorry. That was for the budget. Well, see, we're doing all these things at once. They're all overlapping.
Yeah.
Where is each fund trending? Take the full picture to develop. Toggle funds below to capture revenues against expenditures, 22 to 25. Okay, I don't know. Let's do safety path. Let's do safety path. I don't want water and sewer. I think they got wells and stuff, right? Oh no, they probably a large part of it is probably water and sewer. But as you can see, so here we have the graph. I'm going to try to do this as eloquently as possible. Can I drop this? Can you go away? Go away. I don't want the warning. I don't need that. Okay. So look, as we can click and change things, this would be your citizens, right? Well, I want to know about rubbish collection, and I don't care about water and sewer because I'm on a well and septic, and there you go. So you can start looking, and it put all the information in for amended budget, 24's values, 23's values, 22's values, and you can see the trend for all the things. If we want to look at just, let's look at just let's look at sheriff and garbage and municipal. No, let's go safety stuff. We want trash, we want water, we want safety and police and fire. Yeah, let's go with the main big services here. So now we can see the charts on what happened with all of these. What are they doing? Is it going up? Is it going down? What's the trend on them? So you can really quickly have a nice interactive tool. Notice we didn't build this. We didn't have to have a master Excel and website integrate. We did this in 30 seconds during a podcast. So as you can...
Oh, this is a nice one.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Imagine you contribute $100 per year. Oh, here we go. How much are you paying for everything? Okay, let's see. Let's say that we pay, $2,000 per year. There it is. So we'll do $2,000 per year. So out of your tax bill, then that means you're paying $300 for fire, $275 for police, $528 for water, sewer, parks and rec, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see the breakdown of your $2,000. Trash and recycling, $9. It just finished the color scheme change. All right, so that's one of the things when you're working with it and you tell it to update it. As soon as it finishes updating it, it's now just changed the scheme. So now notice we're watercolors. We now have the blue and the light blue. It's very nice.
It even put like a water drop.
Oh, I didn't even notice that, Greg. You're right. Look at that. We have like a water droplet in a pond. Oh, I didn't even see that. Look at that.
How when the budget goes up top, it kind of fades out a little bit behind the scene. Oh, yeah,
look at that. Behind it's like faded, like a opaque. So we'll go back to where does my dollar... Oh, don't worry about that. Where does it go? A single dollar. So yeah. So anyway, so you can see in a very easy.
I like that in a pie graph better. For example, where does your dollar
just
go?
like we did with the colors.
Yeah,
you just tell it.
Just say change that to a pie graph. Make one of the pies come out, or make it cool. Can you make it 3D, or hey, give me an idea. I want to make it instead of just a straight circle. Give me some other ideas.
Now this one will be interesting. Why is the Corridor Improvement Authority's fund balance negative? Tax increment authorities like the CIA borrow against future tax increment to improve infrastructure now. The negative balance represents an internal advance that will be repaid as captured tax grows over time. Now, it's inferring as much as it can of this out of the document, right?
Be a little careful
so this is where the review comes in. So like in the city, I went through each of these to make sure is what it's saying correct and is the information correct.
This gives you some ideas, right?
Yeah.
Hey, here's...
It just got you 98% of the way. So now you spend your time on adding value to the product versus spending all your time trying to make the product.
Exactly.
So as you can see, it's got sources listed here, the adopted budget, Michigan chart of accounts. Yep, there it grabbed it. Department numbers following the chart of accounts. Budget hearings. The Board of Trustees holds public hearings and amending the budget. So see, all of this you have in no time. Now you spend time just, what do you want to change? Do you not like this little trends? Do you not like the layout for the... And this is popping up because it's a link.
Outside.
The link would be outside, right? Because you would have this hosted. So it's saying, do you want to go outside? No, we don't have it hosted yet. But so it's not.
It's pretty funky font. Look at the F in fund.
Yeah, that is. Where is each?
I don't think I've seen that. It almost looks like one of those where you got to,
it's deflating.
The CAPTCHA.
Yeah,
where the words are.
Yeah, like what are you doing here? So, anyways, you get an idea now, right? That's enough of an idea on where that's going. So we're going to call this one done. I'm going to hang this hat up here. Yep. We're going to say we're done.
Let's see if that distinguished.
So now we go back on the document. Looks like we are now at the point where it's done on that. So which means it is now compiling this, and we should see it pop up or download. And this is live, right? We didn't pre-do any of this. So it's important to note that things will go wrong during the process, right? You'll get a pop-up that says, oh, I couldn't do this, please try again, or whatever it is. So you will absolutely see that happen, and, it's all good.
I'm working on a interactive, so we have this public investing handbook that I put together. I think I mentioned once before, and so I'm putting this interactive thing together.
Yeah, see? This is the one right here. There we go. Document... Finished response, ran a command, created file. So when you get things like this...
You want to try it again.
Then you literally just say, yeah, go do that again.
And it's already done most of it, so it's not going to...
Yeah, it picks up where it left off.
Exactly.
It timed out whatever else happened on that one, so we'll just let that keep running. And it will build as it goes. So it will get whatever else it needs to grab, and... we'll have a document. So you see in a relatively short period of time, as we're going through this, I'll switch back out. We can let it run in the background. We go through and have the tools. You can run these things. You can have it build the documents. You can have it really get you 99% of the way, and you
maybe
spend a lot,
and maybe 90, right?
Or 90%. Like in this one, right? It's going to probably make up a lot of the information that it doesn't have.
Yeah.
But now you have a list. It's literally a list. Go get the info,
and you get better at that too. Hey, don't make up anything you don't have. We can put that in the prompt. You were being fast about the prompt, but there are ways of getting it to.
Oh yeah, that was on the fly. We're just doing that on the fly. So yeah, it's currently running the sample and all that sort of stuff. So. It's amazing, these tools, and what people don't understand is, like, a lot of times, and I'll talk to people at conferences. So you do goals and objectives, and you have two big factors. You all sit in a room. We all are there, department heads, our city council, and we say, hey, what are we doing? Well, first thing, how much money do we have? Constraint 1, right? There's only so much money.
Yep.
Okay, constraint 2 is, well, even if we had enough money, we can only physically do something. There's only so many hours in a week, right? We can't do every single road in the city. We can't rip up every road and every water main at once and put them all down brand new. Even if we had all $100 million in capital needs and, oh, hey, we have $100 million in the bank. Just go do it next year. Yeah. How are you doing 50 miles of roads and water and no one can drive around? Like, you can't do it that way. So those are usually the constraints, right? Time and money. And in a lot of these tools, when AI can come into the picture, you don't have a time constraint anymore and you don't have a money constraint anymore, right? So, you can do these things for $20 a month, and they just run. You can do this for 100 communities. You can do this for one. You can do it for 100 departments. Maybe every department wants its own widget tool on your website, right? And
and try it. Who knows?
You can do it, and you just let it run in. It'll just make them for you, and then you post them on the website, and you're good.
And even just trying things, right?
Yeah.
Trying things, and then it didn't work, didn't hurt anything, start a new chat. I think so many people are afraid of it in some way. It's like, man, you start doing something. I go down past all the time. It's like, okay, this isn't doing what I thought. I'm just starting a new chat. I'm either starting something new or I'm going to ask it the question a different way. Mm-hmm. As we're waiting here for a minute here, the National League of Cities came out with a little discussion on AI. 96% of mayors report interest in using AI, but only 10% have assigned AI personnel. And only 9% of local governments report any kind of informal AI policies. So that's a problem, right? So everybody's afraid of how to get this going. Everybody wants to use it.
They don't know where to start, I think, is the big thing.
Exactly.
And you need a proponent, right? Like in Rochester, I dug into this early on, which is why I go and present everywhere and talk everywhere and burn all my vacation days up going to these conferences, right? Because it's not part of the job. The taxpayers are not paying me to go do another community or present at a conference or that sort of stuff. So you do all this, you go out, you talk, you help present, you help do these things, and you realize it's not scary. Like, you can do this. Yeah.
And you can make mistakes and errors.
Find someone in your municipality, right?
That goes on to the next thing. Like, so the plumbing problems. So you got all these, cybersecurity, contracts. You got how do you keep the information safe? There's all these layers of things, right? You got to kind of get started with, but
bring them in the loop, right?
But already shadow AI. So everybody's using it. So you're saying nobody can use it. Well, they're going to use it anyway, right?
At the conferences, I'll ask. I'll go, how many? They all say we all don't have policies. Should we have policies? What should be in the policies? Yeah. And that's right after everyone's saying like, I use it for this, I use it for that. So even all of you are even the example of if you don't have a policy, it doesn't matter. Still using it.
Exactly. So when people say, we're going to wait and see, or we're not really implementing it, well, you are. So
your employees are.
Yeah, exactly. So you better start using it, and you put some guidelines in place. You can't. Here are all the things that you do not want to put into AI, right? Here are all the FOIA-able types of things that are coming, right? As people use AI more, and they're like, hey, I want information on this, and it's like, you want me to go FOIA that for you? Sure, go FOIA every city in the whole state. Boom, right? It's so easy to do it. So just little things like that, how are you going to respond to this stuff?
And then it helps, too, on FOIAs, right? Because you can ask for the FOIA, and I need to know about, I don't know, whatever the FOIA is, and the AI can also do your FOIA for you to find all of the things
exactly.
in it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, staying one step ahead of it.
Yeah, so it's like, well, hey, I just used the AI just got all the documents. I'll verify the information, but, think it's like turnover, right? Staff turns over. I don't know what the prior staff person that I just took over their job, I don't know how they organize files. So if I get a FOIA and I go, well, I don't have any records of that, it's not a lie.
Yeah.
Well, you don't, but it's there in the file located somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yep,
like that.
Yep. And that's why I'm saying you got to stay ahead of it. Even if you say, "Hey, I'm going to ban AI," or your job load's going to get bigger. You're going to be asking things, and if your other communities are, I'm pointing at the screen here, are building, cool budgets and everything, and you're still got this Excel spreadsheet that you're, showing to your board instead. That's not going to fly much longer here.
And why would you, right? And this is what I tell the young kids, right? They're like, we're not using AI, we're not doing anything. I'm like, use it to make it better. That's all you want. When I get in school, they say AI is cheating. We don't want you using your essays. You're in the adult world now, right? Yep. You're responsible for what you put out. So if you're going to have it create something for you, like I did at the city, right? Yeah, it created it. I spent hours just making sure did it do exactly what it was supposed to do before you give it to the board. And then there's little things you don't. There was things before, right? I never caught everything before by far. Yep. I can tell you there's a lot less now that I missed than I missed before.
Yeah.
But it's still a better product.
I mentioned an interactive thing we're building, and first iteration was like, wow, this is cool. And then you get into it, and it's like, now I'm 10 hours later. All right, change this, move this over, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's a great idea, but I see what you were trying to do. It didn't work right, but just change this a little bit. So it was great for me, right? I mean, it's interesting. It's easy to go through because it's kind of been handed to you just a little bit. So, and as you were saying earlier, you can start small. You don't do it all at once, right? Just pick one thing out. Look at this budget; it's still running, and look at this. This is the most amazing thing in the last 6 months or so. When you started going from 5 to 10 minutes to 45 minutes, and now they're getting things to run for 10, 12 hours. On some of these big the newest
basically until
programs.
it's done.
Yes,
right. It will just run until it's done,
and you'll see it go. Hey, I went this path. Didn't work. I'm coming back to the beginning, and I'm going to try a completely different path, which is
like I did in this one.
Amazing. Yes,
right. And I don't know. We're doing this on a Mac. I don't understand Mac, so it could be something that maybe it can't do the preview because we don't have Word installed or something. But
no, it's been doing the previews for the other things.
Oh yeah,
I see what.
We won't be able to open it. We'll have to do the view on the side of the screen like we did with the tool. We won't be able to actually open the document to see. Because like in this, when I do them, I have it does it in Word, right? So that you can have the document and you can make edits to it, right? It's not a PDF where it's a pain to try to make edits to. I mean, you can make edits to PDFs, but it's not clean. So it's a lot easier to do it in things like a Word document. And so if you're...
But again, if you just tell it what to do, I don't care what form it's in.
But then you're stuck with it, right?
Yes.
If it's in PDF, now you're not touching it. You're going to have that one line needs to have an extra space in it.
Well, I just tell it, but I mean, it's really good now. I just tell it that, hey, you got an extra space there. Yeah. And actually, I take it into another program and say, hey, check this out. Find all the little nuances, flaws, and that kind of thing, and it comes up, hey, there's a little space here. Want me to fix that? And you just say yes.
Yes, we do.
Now, 6 months ago, we'd say, hey, move that column over, and everything would shift, kind of like, when you're trying to put a picture in Word, back in the day, and everything all of a sudden shifts over.
That was awful.
Yes. So that was still happening in AI, 6 months, a year ago. And
anyone that had to work in Word knows that, right? We all know, I just added one space, and 10 pages later, the picture is now sideways off the screen halfway, and like where did it go? What happened?
And nothing worse than you almost have it in place, and it's like, I'm just going to move it just a little bit more to the left, and then that's when it happens. Bing, like, oh, are you kidding me? All the wasted time on all those things.
Word's been around for 40 years in some form or another. We still can't make it not do stupid things on another.
But
really,
on the flip side, remember back then that you were still always waiting for stuff to happen. Like you'd run some big formula in Excel, and you're like, man, I can't wait for the day when you just push a button and it's done instantaneously. And look what we're waiting on. As the computing speed gets later, you just ask it to do more for you, right? And you're still always waiting for it. And so it's like, man, I can't wait until it can do this in a second. Yeah, well, then you're going to ask it to do 100 times more.
And there's always the wait, right? Yes. You're always going to have, because the better it gets, you're right on. That is exactly it. The more you can do, so the more you can ask it to do.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to go back into that same cycle of waiting again, even more for it to do the thing that it couldn't do before, but now it can to then finish it out.
Couldn't finish it. Are you kidding me?
Claude, you disappoint me. How about make a 10-page limit? Make a super short version for demonstration.
What I did this morning, it got bogged down on something and did it wrong a couple times, and I understood why. It was semantics to a certain extent, but I just said,
"Oh, it's sorry."
Yeah, there you go. I put in, "Hey, am I going to have to go to ChatGPT for this? And it came back, sorry, and it did it perfectly. It's like
You're taunting the AI.
You need to, hey, you're not up to snuff. I might have to go to one of your competitors.
I might have to use Gemini if Gemini wouldn't have an issue making this.
Exactly. Or DeepSeek. I'm going to China.
Oh, jeez.
But it was funny
going to be
all of
coming
a sudden
in.
it worked. Of course. So I'm so sorry. I need to spend a little more time on this, and it started working hard on it. So I think we're running low on time.
That's fine.
Come on, baby.
It'll do its thing there. But and this is part of the experience. I don't want this this is not scripted. This is what you deal with, right?
Yeah.
And people sometimes will get frustrated, like, oh, it came up with an error, and I hit try again, and it came up with an error. You just work through it. Like sometimes it'll do that. It's not a big deal.
Down. It's getting bogged down.
And it's the time of day and how many resources are available.
And it's good. We want it to do that, right? It says, look, I'm getting bogged down. I'm going to start making errors here. Then you can try again, and it kind of resets itself. Sometimes it won't let it even do it. It just says it's too big for you.
Yeah, right? and this stands true to today that in the AI, it is literally, did they release a new version? Is there optimization going on in the background? There's so many factors. Sometimes the actual answer to it is wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
You could do this
or
with
10 o'clock
no
at night.
difference.
Yeah.
Or come back to it later. Like, no, you're not forcing it now. It's a child. It's screaming. It's having a temper tantrum. So we're just going to ignore it, right? Yeah. The sound advice. Okay, I'm just going to ignore you. Let me know when you're done. Going to come back at 10 o'clock and then just tell it, okay, now try again. And then it'll just do it. That is normal all of the time.
You just remind me of something that we probably should have talked about in the first session is the fact that all these guys are running out of space, right? Everybody, like Anthropic, is just, the subscribers are just exploding on them. And so they need more computing power to get all this done. And they just cut a deal with SpaceX. Did we talk about this last time? I don't think we did.
No.
Cut a deal with SpaceX to use their initial database, giant data center that was their workhorse. Musk just finished a second data center, and they're moving all of SpaceX onto that second data center, and they're giving the first data center to Anthropic to use for Claude.
So they're giving, Anthropic is going to end up getting the entire thing. And they said they can do it within like a month, that it's not that difficult to switch whatever they need to switch over. That is a serious thing. That is scary. So this is Musk saying, look, I'm trying to compete with these guys. I can't do it necessarily. I keep coming behind Grok. I'm right behind, but I'm slow. But guess what I'm really good at? Like building stuff, right? And so he built this second, and they name it something, but this second data center in record time. Of course, it's Musk. He says, I can do it, and everyone says that can't happen, and he did it. He owns everything to be able to do it.
Right, and so he's just on the next data center, right? He's always just a little bit of a step ahead of people, which is quite amazing. I think we're coming up here, possibly. But
I'll keep an eye.
Big deal that SpaceX is combining with it. And so Claude all of a sudden picked up massive amounts of data speed. I wouldn't be surprised if Meta, for example, who's behind, Facebook is behind everybody again. They got to team up with somebody, right? And somebody's willing to grab all their resources that they've built, the data centers and all. Going to see this happen, and
they tried, right?
2, 3, 4. How many people are coming up here?
They tried with Manus.
Yes, exactly.
And then they got blocked.
There, right? All right. What do we got here? We got something that we.
Yep. So now this is the preview. Can we see it? We'll find out. It is loading, and so we'll see what we have on this one. So here we go. Just said make it shorter so we can make this podcast not last 7 days. And so now here we go. Living is a vacation. Condensed version, asterisks or AI-generated content, theoretical date, letter from the supervisor. We have one of the lowest operating millages in the county, public safety. So you can see, and it added some items. So key numbers.
Yeah, something like that. If we asked, that would
we asked
should
it
be
too.
A lot longer.
Yeah, you can have this create. So here we go, summary of charts and graphs, fund balance, percent of expenditure, strategic priorities. It just, these are the things that GFOA says you have to put in the document. I know Chris Barnett and the team over there. This stuff is all there, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of compiling it and putting it into this document versus the other spots that it's located. So it's definitely, not for lack of not having priorities. He is one of the top in that field. He is always on top of this stuff. And let's see, we got township profile, so it grabbed all that information.
And we work with the Treasury Department, same thing. They're
Matt. He's
trying to be cutting edge here.
And they have they're solid over there. They really got a good board and group. So you can see just the layout, and we have fund structure, financial policy. So look, it invented the policies we need to add. We need to have a balanced budget. We need to have a fund balance policy, investment policy, debt policy. So you can see it put all the things in there of the revenues, expenditures by function, and a few try-agains, and it would do this for the entire document.
And we've shown some things like this a couple times, but more importantly, you saw how long it was running, right? That it was going to give you a pretty healthy document. We slowed it down a little bit here.
And when I did the city's full document, to generate that entire thing, it was a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like, it ran for a couple hours to do it.
And it's just amazing.
But here, you have everything, and there's our end of our 10 pages. Just make 10 pages, give it something it can chew instead of a larger document. And we have, illustrative rates for top taxpayers, et cetera. So as you can see, this is where you just start going through it, right? And you're good. And then all of a sudden, you're done. You have a document. You have all the stuff for GFOA, for the Distinguished Budget Award, the highest level of anything you can get for budgets for a municipality.
And it'll actually score. It'll score for you. Hey, if you do it this way, you got 146 points.
New chat.
Yeah.
New chat.
Yeah.
Here's my draft proposed whatever. Score it to GFOA.
Yep.
Here's where you're weak.
Go into ChatGPT, drop it in. Hey, find things that I could fix with this. Make it better. Keep pounding it. So on that one, we had a lot of content for you on this one. You got to see the widget tool. You got to see the creating what am I missing for the criteria. You got to see a 10-page version at the end of this of what the sample would look like. And then once you gather the info, it just keeps in expounding from there. And this is an example of where like Claude Desktop works better for the big documents because there's a size limit inherent in the online one. And that's what I believe it was hitting. So you use the desktop version, and it works on the files locally, the Word document locally, the thing. So it can run and just edit instead of trying to keep this like massive thing sitting in the cloud. And that's something we're going to talk about for the upcoming months a lot.
On the next episode.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk a lot about agents here going forward. Right?
Oh, I think so.
So having things do it locally for you. Lots of security issues and that kind of things, slowing that part of it down.
Oh, for sure.
That's coming here. So.
Anyways, on that one, thank you all for tuning in and watching. Matt, I hope you find this riveting in your experiences here. So thanks, everyone. Stay tuned for more. We'll catch you on the next one.